All right, guys, still got on YouTube. Let's get started. So, hey guys, welcome. Looks like we have about 30 people in here. Looks like there's still more people coming in. So, if you guys have any questions or if you guys are new here, feel free to put your questions in the Q&A, and I can go down, any analysis of any pair, or go over any, trading theories you guys want me to go over. Or if you guys want me to cover some strategy demonstrations, feel free to let me know. I know a lot of people are new here and they want me to go over the, all right, Mike, let me get that link for you real quick. Yeah, they want me to go over the, the strategies. We have about I think 4 or 5 strategies. So if we don't have any questions, I'll just go over that. Otherwise, I will go over the pairs. It's 5 o'clock right now, so we have about less than an hour for the next 4-hour candle close. So once that happens, or once we get closer to that time, I'll start analyzing for those entries. Let's go over this real quick. Mike wants the YouTube link for Telegram. So let me get the link real quick. Oh, thanks. David got it already. So if you go to the premium group, Michael, David has posted it in there. Thanks, David. Appreciate that. But yeah, so let me go over active positions first. And once we finish off with that, I'll get to your question, Chris. Chris wants to check out NZD USD or odd USD. So I think we have one position open. So I'll get to odd USD and NZD USD as we go down our active trades. So right now we have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8. We have 8 active trades right now. So right now for our odd CAD position, it's right here in this resistance zone, but it's tested it 1, 2, and this would be the 3rd time right here. I think at this point it should be able to push through. It's obviously a strong bullish movement right here. So if we draw some trend lines right here, obviously this is a very strong bullish movement upwards. So, we just need that to push a little bit further up to hit our full TP right here. And then, that'll be full TP for about 80 pips, I believe. Yeah, 80 pips right here. So we're only, let's see how many pips. We are about, we're only about 13 pips away. So it's actually not too far. If you guys are in this position, I do recommend you move your stop loss and profit. And a lot of people don't like moving the stop loss and profit, but you could at least move your stop loss somewhere around here. So if it does, anything happens, if it rejects again, you'll get stopped out in profit with you only miss out on about 15 pips. So it's, it's about time for you to move your stop loss and profit if you haven't already. But yeah, let me keep going up. So we cover that one right now. This is our odd CHF position. This was sent out on the 22nd, so yesterday. And it looks like it pushed up a little bit. It got pretty close to TP1 right here, but then it missed it just slightly. Let's see how many pips was it away from it. It was really close. It was only about 12 pips, but it looks like it's pushing back up. So, similar to odd CAD, it has a strong bullish movement right now. So if I draw a trend line from down here, you can see it's still pushing up pretty strong. So pretty much, let's see how many pips is it from TP1. So it's only about 30 pips from TP1. So I do anticipate it to shoot on upwards. It's, it's moving pretty smoothly. So it'll probably shoot up there, hit our TP1. It might reject off the resistance. So like I just mentioned earlier, once it reaches TP1, what I always advise is once it reaches TP1, move your stop loss to TP1. That way you can guarantee, this amount of profits, and then you can still let it run to full TP. Our TP1 is, let's see how far is it. So even if you got stopped out at TP1, you'd still lock in about 38 pips, which is, it's not bad. And also because there's resistance coming up right here. So if it does reject off that, at least you lock in that much profit. But that looks good so far. Let's keep going down. This is our odd JPY, same situation. It looks like all the odd pairs are pushing up pretty nice right now. So let me do the same thing I just did earlier. I'll just draw a trend line from, I can draw it from down here or I can draw it from here. It's the same thing. If I drew it from here, the short trend line, obviously the trend, the push up is really strong right now. We did hit TP1 on this for about 44 pips yesterday. I think I posted that in the Telegram. Let me see. Yeah, so if I look at the Telegram right here, and then I type in RGBY. Yeah, I'm not sure if this was shared in the public, but I mean, obviously we shared in the premium. Actually, it looks like it was, or it might have not. So right here, it looks like we hit it on yesterday at 3:50 p.m. So we hit TP1 right there for about 44 pips. You know, it's on its way to full TP right now. So we just need to get a few more. Actually, it was so close to it. If you look at this previous high candle right here, it looks like we were about to hit TP1 yesterday, but I don't know, something happened in the news, it looks like, because it was only about 5 or 4 pips away. So it looks fine. It looks like it's going to make its way up. So if you guys are still in OddCAD, OddCHF, and OddJPY, you know, it's on its way to full TP. And then here goes for Chris. Chris wanted to take a look at OddUSD. We did have this trade open from last week, I think. Yeah, it's been a long time. We had this trade open since the 12th, so it's been over a week. A lot of us got stopped out already in profit because our TP1 is way down here. So let me just pull that up real quick. So if you guys are still in this trade, you guys shouldn't be in this trade right now. You guys had so many opportunities to get out. You had an opportunity right here to get out at TP1. Again, right here, you had an opportunity to get out. So if you guys are still in this trade, I mean, there's not much you can really do at this point. You can hold on to it or you can cut your losses. But, you know, if it hits TP1 twice, you know, that's kind of a sign for you to move your stop loss and profit or do something to, you know, protect your position, because you know, this is just carelessness. If you guys held on to this trade, you guys had so many opportunities here to get out. But let me just show you guys when that hit. So OddUSD. Yeah, it actually hit. So it hit TP1 a long time ago on the 14th. So on the 14th, it hit TP1 down there for a gain of 75 pips. You know, if you guys didn't minimize your risk, 75 pips in profit, you guys have to work on your risk management if that's the case, because you know there's some instances where you have to take your money off the table. You can't just let it run for an entire week and not, you know, take your money out. So it hit TP1 over here on the 14th, and then it came back in profit on the 16th. So you had, you know, 1 opportunity, 2 opportunities, 3, 4, 5, yeah, about 6 opportunities to get out of this trade. It doesn't look like it's going to come back down. We already hit TP1, and it has a buy bias. So, Chris, if you're looking to enter this trade, it looks like it would be a good buy. So we could have called this, I think the buy entry would happen right here on the 22nd. We didn't call it because we still had this active. Well, it's not active for us, but it, you know, it hasn't fully filled yet. But this is where the move would be if we were applying the strategy we've been applying for pretty much every strategy, which is the K² zone trading strategy. So pretty much right here, this would have been the entry right here, and obviously it pushed up. And I think it's going to keep pushing up as well, because if you look at our OddCAD that we looked at earlier, it's a strong bullish movement. About to hit full TP right there. OddCHF, same situation right there. Same with OddJPY. So OddUSD, I definitely see it coming up. So if you guys are still in this old position from last week, you know, it's been over a week since we took this trade, I think you guys should get out, because it's clearly in a bullish bias right now. So I'm not sure if you're in this position, Chris. But yeah, so Chris said, yeah, I got out a while ago and entered once a buy once he saw the buy signal. Yeah, definitely. That's a smart move right there. You know, once you got a buy signal, you know, once it broke this resistance right here, then this would be an indication to get out. I did see some people in the premium that were asking about OddUSD, but you know, I got out of this trade on the 14th, so it's been, you know, well over a week since then. But if you're in a buy right now, Chris, then you know that's pretty good, because I do see it coming up here. I don't know if you have these parameters here, but this would probably be the entry for me right here. So I'll probably put this for 110 pips. And you guys have to be proactive. You know, when you guys are taking trades, or if you guys are using the K2 strategy, you guys have to understand, you know, when to get in and out of trades, because, you know, once it hits TP1, I always advise to move your stop loss at TP1, just for instances like this, because you know a lot of things can happen over the weekend. Yeah, Chris, that was a good move for entering a buy. It looks like it would have hit. So if this is full TP right here for 110, you know, TP1 probably would have been around 55 pips. So it actually would have hit TP1 right here. So if you were in this trade, I would have moved your stop loss somewhere in profit. And you probably should have gone stopped out in profit. If not, I think it's still going to keep coming up because it is coming up with everything else. You know, it's coming up with odd CAD, odd CHF, odd JPY. Odd entities going sideways right now. But pretty much for all of the AUD pairs, they all look bullish right now. So I think you should be good if you're in a bullish buy. Oh, nice. So Chris said he's been in since 69,200. Oh, nice. Yes, you got in exactly like pretty much where I had it set up right here. So I'm assuming you used the K2 zone trading strategy because this was a perfect setup right there. So if you took that, yeah, it's looking good. No, but as it keeps moving up, I think if it moves up to this area again, get this tool. If it moves up again to this territory, I would move your stop loss and profit, or to that point if it breaks above it, just to protect your position. The main key in this game is risk management. If you have your risk management down, you already have a profitable strategy. So you put a profitable strategy with risk management, and you're pretty much set. But that looks good. So I should have called that trade. I just didn't call it because we were still in this trade. But all the trades that were held from last week, I think like Euro Odd, Euro JPY, NZD JPY, NZD USD, like all of these should have been exited by last Friday. How I advise. But I will. I'll keep going down the list and I'll check out those as well. Let's see. Aaron's here, so let me I'll move Aaron to the panelist. Aaron, you there?
Yes, sir.
Cool. So I'm moving Aaron over. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, man, that was a nice call, Chris. I'm kind of jealous. I feel like I should have taken that one too. Aaron, did you see this trade for Odd USD?
Nah.
Yeah, no, yeah, I mean, I missed it because, well, actually, there was news during that time too, so that's probably why we didn't take it. But it looks like a good trade. But I'll just leave this up right here, in case you want to make a late entry later. I'll keep going down the list. This was another one that I marked up this morning. It was CAD CHF. I just thought it would look a little iffy. That's why I didn't call it. It didn't really move very much. And as you guys are aware from this morning, and last night, there's some weird movement. Like last night, there was that the China trade deal that obviously screwed the market up, and then I think it still lingered into this morning. With whatever else is going on behind the scenes. So let's see. Let's keep going down. So let's keep going down to whatever's active. Right here is our Euro odd position. Same situation here, guys. It hit TP1 down here. There's a ton of opportunity here to get out of this trade. So if you guys are stuck in this trade and you guys want to get out, it's in profit right now. So I would move your stop loss in profit because although it looks like a good trade, I can't guarantee that this is going to be a good trade because there's a strong support right here. The problem with this is it can reject just like it did right here. It came down, rejected, came down, rejected, came down, rejected. Again, right here, it came down and rejected. So it's going to come down and test it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Probably a 6th time right here. So it can really go either way. So the thing is, if you don't know how to trade yourself and you're not going to be able to analyze this on your own, personally, it's going sideways in my perspective. If I zoom out of this, you can see right here, Euro odd is just going sideways. So this is a very risky trade to hang on to. So if you guys are still in this trade, you guys are free to do what you want with it. But if you ask me what I would do, I would move my stop loss and profit in case it does reject again off here or close out with profit because it's pretty nice in profit right now. So let me count how many pips is it. Profit. Oh, shit. Let me see how many pips it's in profit at the moment. Euro odd is in profit about 23 to 25 pips. So I mean that's not a bad profit. But everyone has different risk tolerance. If you guys want to hold on to it, you guys can be good. Otherwise, it's just a bit of a risky trade to hold because of the the support. It's literally just ranging between these two zones right now. Let's see what else we got here. So next one is your JPY. Same situation with this trade. There's a lot of people that are selling these trades. Like I want to take these off, but we're still monitoring them because it hasn't hit stop loss yet, or full TP. It's hit TP1 right here. So the thing is, a lot of people had the opportunity to exit over here, but they didn't because they thought it was going to keep going down. Obviously the weekend happened right here, and then so this was Friday right here on the 19th. It was way down here. You guys could have exited when I sent the reminder. But obviously this happened over the weekend where it reversed price. And right now we do have, it's a buy bias because we have a buy signal right here. So this is a bit of a risky trade to hang on to if you're still in it. But let me just go check the results again real quick. So your JPY. So this hit TP last Friday. So last Friday, everyone had the opportunity to exit right here. It was in profit, and then it was pretty deep in profit. And then obviously over the weekend, a lot of things happened over the weekend, causing price to go the opposite direction. And that's why I always advise to exit your positions before the weekend, because you don't want to get caught in something like this. So if you guys are still in this trade, I honestly could go either way. If it comes back and breaks below this support right here, like right there, you just got a sell signal. So if it closes with the sell signal and closes below this support, it could come shooting down. But if it doesn't, it already rejected off this support right here, so it could go up as well. So this is a very risky trade to hang on to. Personally, I wouldn't hang on to it, but if you guys are still in it, you guys want to hang on to it, feel free. But for future references, just remember to always move your stop loss and profit when it reaches TP1. You don't have to move it too early, but at least when it reaches TP1, this is a full TP for 120 pips. So TP1 was about 60 pips. So if it was in 60 pips, you guys should have at least moved your stop loss to break even if you didn't want to move it to TP1. And then you wouldn't be stuck in the situation right here. But we'll see what happens. It's still early in the week. It's only Tuesday, so we have an entire week to trade still. So, who knows? Something might happen in the news in the next couple of minutes, causing price to, shoot down. And that's no surprise. Like literally what's been going on lately. There's a ton of news that just gets released randomly throughout the day. So, if you guys are still in it, you guys could hang on, but just take it with caution, because if you go either way, it can go up or it can go down. All right, NZD/JPY, same situation here, guys. It's the same picture for every trade. Like you can see here, it hit TP1, so I can go and pull that up somewhere over here. Hey, Aaron, can you go to the public chat? There's a message there from your Val. She's asking. She said the link's not working, but I think it should be, since everyone else is here.
All right.
Yeah. So all right. So on Sunday, our NZD/JPY hit TP1 for 60 pips. Same situation with Euro odd. Once it reaches TP1, you guys have to move your stop loss in profit or move it to TP1 like I do. I'll guarantee that you don't get stuck in a situation like this. But if you guys are still in this trade, it could still come down. You can see right here, we do have a sell signal. It might push up, reject off this resistance, and shoot down. But like the way that the market's moving today, I'm not sure anything could happen. Literally, it can go up or it can go down. Yeah, I'm out of this position. I'm also out of EJ. I hit TP1 for EJ, TP1 for NJ. Last one that we have active right now is NU. So NU, same situation with Odd USD for Chris. I'm not sure if Chris, if you're in this trade right now, but it's the same situation. So we had a let me unlock this. So we had a buy signal right here, which gave indication of momentum swinging upwards, which that's exactly what happened right here. So it shot up, and then it broke above this point right here. So this would give for a valid buy entry. So in this situation right here, we enter a buy, and then that would be the setup right there for that. So if you are in a buy, I mean, it would look good where it currently is right now. Let's see how many pips in profit it is. It's currently about 22 to 23 pips in profit at the moment. So it does look good. If you guys are still in this trade, you know, right here, it might have hit TP for some people, it might have not. Actually, I think it did hit CP for us. Let me go check real quick. Actually, it did hit CP1 for us. Okay, so it hit CP1 for us on Sunday as well, for 67.5 pips. So if you guys are still in this trade, it's a sticky situation because, you know, just the way that how price is moving, it's currently a buy right now. So if you guys are still in the sell, you guys should have moved your stop loss and profit because there is so many opportunities here to move your stop loss and profit, even on Sunday. So on Sunday, I sent the message out, and then price was way down here on Sunday. So even when I sent that message out, you could at least move your stop loss to break even or somewhere around that area. You guys just have to remember to exercise proper risk management for every position you have open, because you don't want to get caught in a situation like this where price reverses the other direction and you're still stuck in the same trade when everyone is already out. I think that's about it. We don't have any other active trades. Everything looks pretty much good so far. I'm not worried about NU because I'm already out of this trade. Once you reach TP1, I move my stop loss and profit. Same with NJ. Once it reached TP1 down here, I move my stop loss and profit. Same here. I think here, I'll show you guys what I put here as well, just so you guys know, what I posted. So right here, I sent this on Monday. Just a reminder for you guys, reminder team. We recommend to move your stop loss. So it says, set your stop loss and full TP on entry. When price reaches TP1 or TP2, move your stop loss to that respective price point to eliminate risk and guarantee profits at that price point. And that's exactly what I was mentioning earlier. So once price reaches TP1 down here, you have to move your stop loss to either, don't even move it to break even, move it in profit to TP1. So if this happens where price rejected up, you could have locked in 60 pips right here. And you guys just have to remember, I mean, I know it's going to be hard if you guys are new trading and you guys aren't fast with, with your adjustments with your trades, but just, future reference, just always remember that, the most important thing is to not lose. If you're not losing, you can't pull your account. So just keep that in mind. It's not all about hitting the home run, getting full TP every single time. As long as your win rate's high, you're always going to end up in profit at the end of the month. So, there goes my 2 cents, and let me keep going through the requests. So let's see. Nivla. Hey, Nivla, can you put that question for GBP odd in the Q&A? Because I'm not really looking at the chat. I have a list here on the Q&A, so I'm going to go down that list first, and then once I get through that, I can keep moving forward. But if you guys have any other questions, feel free to put them in the Q&A, and then I can go over, whatever assets you guys want me to look at, or any, trading theories that you guys are confused with. But yeah, guys, let me go through the questions now. So let's see. All right, so I got one question from Andrea. So Andrea said, the US 30 analysis you did to send the trade idea on Premium Group. Okay, I think Andrea wants me to take a look at the US 30 trade today. So let me go back to US 30 over here. Dang, did you see US 30? It shot back up.
Yes, man, acting up right now.
This is why I don't really follow the
in a good way.
yeah, I should have just left it, but it's all right. All right, so let's go to the trade from today. So let me just delete everything off the chart. All right, so today at 6:30, if you guys are familiar with the strategy that I apply for the daily US 30 strategy, I'll just go over the strategy as we move forward. So let's go from, so basically the way that the strategy works is, I'll just type it up here for you guys that don't understand it or don't know it. K² daily So one, you just begin looking for entries on after New York Stock Exchange open. EST. This one. Next, you're gonna identify first valid K² signal, and then enter on open. Following candle. Lastly, place stop loss. Minimum for 1-to-1 risk-reward ratio. So Andre, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the K² strategy that we apply for every US 30 entry. But so for first, we're going to be looking for we're going to begin looking for entries after the New York Stock Exchange opens at 6:30 a.m. So let me go over here. 6:30 a.m. is right here. So this is when the New York Stock Exchange opened. And the reason why we wait for this to open is because during this time, was when the highest volatility occurs in the New York during US 30, because US 30 is based on the New York Stock Exchange. It's based on the top 30 stocks in the US. It's part of that index fund. So yeah, our first requirement, we're going to begin looking for entries after the New York Stock Exchange opens at 6:30 a.m. So 6:30 a.m. is right here. Next, we're going to identify the first valid K² signal. So a valid K² signal would be something like this right here. This would be valid because it's a sell signal and it's with a bearish candle. Again, right here, this would be a valid buy signal because it's a buy signal with a green bullish candle. Here's an example of an invalid. This would be invalid because it's a buy signal, but with a red bearish candle. Again, right here, same situation. It's a buy signal, but the candle's opposite. Again, right here, opposite. And then let me see if I could find. Right here's an invalid sell signal. So it's a sell signal with a green bullish candle. So pretty much we have the first requirement done. We start looking for trades after 6:30 a.m., which is when the New York Stock Exchange opened. Next, we're going to identify the first valid K² signal. Right here, we have a valid K² signal. This is at 10 a.m. So first two requirements are met. We begin looking after 6:30 a.m. And then next, we're going to identify the first valid K² signal, which is right here. Since those two requirements are met, we're going to enter on the open of the following candle. So as soon as this candle closes, we're going to enter a buy position because we have a buy signal right here. We enter right over there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to place our, I'm going to change this to the last one. So place stop loss at previous swing, which is about, so previous swing, but 1,500 pips minimum. Okay, so right here, we're going to place our stop loss at the previous swing, which is going to be this little thing right here. I know it's not a very strong swing, but this is pretty much a swing because obviously this wouldn't be the swing down here. I mean, it's going to be subjective, but the way I see it, this would be considered the swing because it's swaying down and it's swaying up and then it's swaying down and then it's swaying up. This could be the swing down here as well, but if you're watching this real time, so if I rewind this, this doesn't look like a swing right here because it's already pushed far enough out. It's kind of similar to right here. So if you're looking at this right here, this is a swing down, a swing up, and this would be considered a swing down right here. This wouldn't be the swing right here, even though there's a buy signal over here. So it's a swing down, swing up, swing down, swing up, swing down, swing up. Similar situation right here, swing down. So it swung down right here, swung up right here, swung down right here, swung up right here, and it swung down again right here. So this would be the swing in my perspective. I mean, some people would consider this a swing, but if you're trading on a shorter time frame, it's kind of hard to see because there's a lot of unusual movements going on in the market at this time. This is really unusual to see US 30 moving sideways during the New York Stock Exchange. Generally, during the New York Stock Exchange, you can see right here. So this was 6:30 yesterday. It's a clear movement. Price moves directional during the New York Stock Exchange, because that's when people are trading stocks. Generally it doesn't move sideways because people are trading during this time. So this should have been an indicator not to trade US 30, but I know everyone was so excited to take US 30 this morning, and I was too, obviously, and that's why we took it. But so right here, like I said, we enter on the open of the falling candle, so we would enter right here. We would have placed our stop loss at the previous swing, which should have been right here. But this is only 800 pips. So since it's too little, we're gonna extend it to the 1500 pip minimum. So I'm just gonna change that to 1500. Again, right here, 1500. And then as you move forward, obviously it was in profit for a little bit right there. And then I don't know what happened, but it just came straight down. For whatever reason, you know what happens, market gets manipulated, or, something happens in the news. I couldn't find anything in the news that caused this to drop. It was weird because if you follow the news, it said that the Dow Jones, which is, pretty much the US 30, they were reporting that the Dow Jones was bullish. So it's weird that they were reporting it was bullish, but it came straight down. So, I mean, I can't really explain what happened here, but that's pretty much what happened. You can't control or predict, when market's going to be manipulated or pushed in a certain direction. Also, if you're familiar with the trend meter, it was trending up the entire time. So even if we entered this right here, there's no way that we could have identified that price was going to go the opposite direction. I mean, you could ask anyone else in the group. No one else thought was going to swing in the opposite direction either. Generally, if it's, if we have a buy signal and it's trending, then it usually continues in that direction. But yeah, unfortunately, that was a loss. Thankfully, it wasn't that big. It was only 1,500 bips. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what happened today. There's not much that explaining that we can do unless, we find some type of news release that explained it better. James said Bill Cosby news. Yeah, so let's see. I have another question right here. Let's see. E said, looking at US 30 now with the analysis you took earlier, so you think we have a chance at reaching the goal up? Possibly. It looks like price is correcting up. So, the news analysts were saying that US 30 was shooting upwards, which we thought was going to shoot upwards. If you map it from, so let me go back to where we were right here. So if you look at right here, everything was indicating a trend upwards. Even if you drew a trend line there, obviously it looks like it would go up. There's nothing that really indicated that price was going to be coming down. Let's see if we have the SRs. Yeah, I mean, there's a resistance here, but it wasn't a very strong resistance. You can see price broke this resistance and it just shot around. I don't think that's what caused it, because there was a support right here as well. So you can see right there a strong support. You would have thought that it would have shot back up, but price was just moving unusual today. Yeah, back to E's question, he was asking, or she was asking, if there's a chance that it can shoot back up. There possibly is, because if you just look at price right now, it is correcting back upwards. But I wouldn't risk it, honestly. I wouldn't take that risk, because it's just too risky, and you don't want to take a trade that where you don't have an edge, especially right now, where if you're going to trade during Asia session, you literally have no edge right now because the stock market's closed at the moment. So let me go back. I know someone asked about the trade yesterday too. So this was only a 1,500 pip loss. But yesterday we had, I think it was a big win. So let me go back to yesterday's, and someone wanted me to explain. It's the same situation, same exact strategy. So guys, I'm gonna step away for 1 second. I'll be right back, you guys. All right, guys, I'm back. So let's go back to, I was going to go over the US 30 entry from yesterday. So pretty much we applied the same exact strategy. Let me mark 6:30 a.m. yesterday so we can see when the stock market opened. So all right, so we're going to go back and let me rewind this back to that time. Okay, so same situation here. We're going to begin looking for entries after the New York Stock Exchange opens at 6:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Savings Time. So right here is 6:30. So at this point, we can start looking for entries. Next, our next requirement is to identify the first valid K2 signal. So right here, we have a valid signal, and it's valid because it's a buy signal with a green bullish candle. So since those requirements are met, we can move on to step 3. We're going to enter on the open of the following candle. So we're going to open a long position right here. And then we're going to place our stop at the previous swing. Like I mentioned earlier, you can identify the swings just by looking at the chart. So you can see it started from up here, swung down, swung up, swung down, swung up, and then swung down right here. So this would be the swing low right here. Move our stop loss down there. And generally, I like to round it. I like to use whole numbers. So instead of placing it at 2,540, I'm just going to round it to 2,600. I think that's what the signal was for yesterday. So let me just pull it up real quick so I can confirm. I don't want to use the wrong parameters. Okay, so right here. Yeah, so right here was for 2,600 pips. Same entry right there. You can see that entry. Same setup right here. So right here, we would have entered this trade. Now all the requirements are met. We took the first trade that appeared after 6:30 a.m. when the New York Stock Exchange was happening, and then we identified the first valid K2 signal, which would be right here, and then we entered on the open falling candle. So pretty much right there, same requirements we followed today, and then we're gonna let it run. And then you can see this situation here. This happens very often. A lot of people get scared and they start freaking out because they see it going to the negative. But this happens all the time, and this is why we trust it. That's why I trusted it today, because this happens so often that it'll go into negative before it goes into the positive. So pretty much just keep letting it run. And then you can see right there we hit profit target. So if you guys took both trades this week, you guys took yesterday's trade, you would have made 2,600 pips. And then if you took today's trade, you would have only lost 1,500 pips. So you'd still be in profit 1,100 pips. So I mean, it's all about risk management and being able to balance out your wins and your losses. If you guys look at our results for US 30, ever since I started posting the signals, we've had 14 wins and 2 losses in May, and then 7 wins and 1 loss in this month so far. So in total, we have 21 wins and 3 losses. So honestly, if you guys weren't over leveraging, which we always advise, we tell you guys exactly how much you guys need in your account. We tell you guys, which lot sizes to use. If you guys overstep that and, go heavy on the trade and blow your account, it's impossible for you to blow your account taking my trades, my US 30 trades. So I don't understand how people blow their accounts. You can see here, 21 wins, 3 losses, just for 2 months, May and June, we're up 33,950 pips. And then we'll add, yesterday's win to that, and then minus today's loss. So we're actually at 22 wins and 4 losses. So, the numbers speak for themselves. So if you guys follow directions and, don't over leverage, you guys should be perfectly fine. Everyone's ready for tomorrow's US 30 trade. I am too, ready to bounce back. But, it just goes to show that if you follow directions and do things properly, you guys will be fine. All right, so let me keep going on forward. James said, I haven't blown my account yet. Yeah, I'm not talking about you, James. I mean, Aaron might be, but not me. Oh, man, James, you're crazy, bro. James takes like some crazy trades, like 0.5 zeros on a smaller account. James said, I want Aaron to give me my money. All right, guys, so let me keep going down. Yeah, if you guys have any other questions about this strategy, I can go over some more entries. but you know, it's self-explanatory. You just trade during the New York Stock Exchange, and you take the first momentum signal. So if you guys aren't familiar with the K2 indicators, basically what the indicators do is they identify swings in momentum. So the reason why we're taking the first signal after the stock market opens is because that's going to set the direction for the rest of the day. So generally, try to hold these trades for, you know, during the stock market while it's open, and then we try to get out before it's over. And it's been working for us pretty good so far. So yeah, let me keep going down the questions. So I've answered Andrea's question. Let's see. And then have another one from Kem. So Kem said, could enter that CAD CHF, bro. So let me pull up CAD CHF. It's getting close to 6. So in about 5 minutes, I'm going to start looking for entries. Oh, this is a 10-minute chart. Let me go back to the 4 hour. So Kim's asking about CAD CHF. You could enter it, Kim. I'm personally, I would wait for another entry, because the thing is, it's pulling back right now. Or I mean, you could enter it, and then I think you should still be fine, because we still do have a sell momentum going on right here. So even if you were to take this trade for 45 pips, if it hits CP1, then I wouldn't re-enter, because technically, if I entered this trade real time, I would have been out of the trade already. It looks like it didn't hit TP1 yet. So generally, I like to put TP1 at half profit. The thing with that is a lot of people don't realize that I only put TP1 there as a reminder to move my stop loss. I never aim to hit TP1. Like, I'm never aiming to exit the trade at that point. The only reason I put TP1 halfway, like right here, is because let me just color this into color, black, make it solid. All right, so the reason why I put TP1 there is because once price reaches that area, I want to move my stop loss to that point so I can guarantee those profits. The thing is, a lot of people ask me if I exit at TP1, and the answer is no. I never exit at TP. Like, my goal is never to reach TP1. My goal is to reach full TP. But the thing is, I have TP1 set there so I can move my stop loss to TP1, and then let it guarantee those profits and allow it to run to full TP. I know a lot of other traders and, you know, other trading groups give TP1s because those are target points for you to exit. But for me, that's not a target point for me. Like, I always want to hit full profit, obviously. But this is just a reminder to move your stop loss and profit. So the thing is, even though we have TP1 right here, what I usually do is I just put an alert right there. So let me go to my other trade that I have active right now. But yeah, Kim, if you want to enter this trade, it's still fine. It's a little below entry. I would try to enter at, you know, entry point to give you, you know, the proper risk management that you need for the risk to reward. But it still is a good trade for you to enter. So let me go to Aaron. Do you know a trade that we had recently where it hit full TP?
To be honest, nope. I think they all hit TP number 1, the most recent ones.
So I'll just go back to actually, I'll just go back to US 30 real quick, and I'll just show you guys what I meant about that, because a lot of people are still confused about the whole TP1 thing. So, okay, so let's go back to this trade right here. I'm just going to show you guys how to adjust your trade. So full TP is at 2,600 pips. TP1 is about 1,300 pips. I know before I used to run multiple positions, but that just confuses people too much. So now I just recommend that you move your stop loss to TP1. It's a little too complicated for people, and it's better for you guys to just keep it simple, because it's not really a very difficult concept if you understand to just move your stop loss once price reaches this area. So there's the full move right there. And then pretty much what I recommend is to move your stop loss to this area, this exact area, once price reaches it. So let's let the trade run. So right here, it's moving up, correct? So as it moves up to TP1, like it did right here. So see right here how it pulled back? I actually got stopped out at TP1 right here. A lot of people are asking if I got stopped out. I did get stopped out right there. You know, if you want to take more risk, you can just move your stop loss to break even. You don't have to go to TP1, just so you can eliminate your risk, and so you guarantee, you know, either a win or break even. You know, because a win or break even is better than having a loss. So right here, once price reached TP1, I moved my stop loss to TP1 right here. So as price came back down, I got stopped out, which is completely fine because I got stopped out with 1,300 pips. You know, how could you be mad about making 1,300 pips? Obviously, it wasn't the full profit, but I still made profit off this trade and it was pretty good. I think, let's see what it was yesterday. So yesterday, let's look at personal. So yeah, I said at my personal, I should let it run SM, shake my head. So right here is my personal. I made 128 off that trade. And then this is my FTMO. I got out at half profit for 750, which is perfectly fine. You know, if it's better than it being red. Like I'd rather have a blue 750 than a red 750. So in this situation, you know, I got stopped out. It's fine. I know it hit full TP, but it's better to have some profit than no profit or being in the negative. So right there, once price reaches this area, you got to move your stop loss to here, or if, you know, if your spread doesn't allow for it, at least move it somewhere close to it. So as it pulls back like it did right here, because I know a lot of people start tripping out once this happened. And the thing is, I wasn't even tripping because I already got out of the trade. So that just, you know, it's rule of thumb to move your stop loss to TP1 once he reaches that specific area, so you don't get caught in something like this. I know a lot of people re-entered once it came down here. They re-entered another buy, and then they rode it all the way up, which you can do as well. So right here, say the situation right here, if you guys wanted to re-enter right here, and then see it came back to entry, you re-entered down here, and then it came up here, you can see right here, price actually didn't come down to touch TP1. So if you moved your stop loss to TP1 right here, then you would have made full profit because price never came down. It wouldn't have never stopped you out in profit. So if you guys still have you know, issues with this, I can go over this again later. But I will check it. Nibla's asking what determines TP2 line level. TP2 line is, well, for this was a different trade. This was a specific, because this was such a big move, it was 2,600 pips. That's why there was TP2 and TP3. But generally TP2 is going to be full TP. Full TP is the same amount of distance from the stop loss. So stop loss was 2,600 pips. We trade for a 1-to-1 risk to order ratio. So it's going to be the same distance away from the stop loss. So stop loss is 2,600 pips. Full TP or TP2 is also going to be 2,600 pips. So let's see. All right, so I covered that right there. Yeah, if you guys have any other questions regarding this or any specific pairs you guys want me to cover, you know, just put them in the Q&A, and then I can go over them.
Hey, Shawn, it's almost 6, bro.
All right, cool. Thanks, Aaron. So let me answer that question. All right, guys. So I'm gonna look for trades right now for the 6 p.m. hour close. You guys can see how I pick up our signals, and then once I'm done calling any trades that I find, then we can keep going. So I'm gonna go down the entire list. I'm just gonna turn on my SRs right here so I can see if there's any zones that haven't been marked. There's our odd CAD, looks good, about to hit TP1.
Sir.
Odd CHF, it's on its way back up too to hit TP1. Odd JPY, it's on its way up as well to hit full TP in a little bit. Odd NZD, there's no trade here because it's inside the zone. You know, if you're familiar with the zone trading strategy, there's you know, we only take the trades once it breaks the zones, or if we have a signal which is out in the open. Odd USD right here. I don't know if Chris is still here. Chris, if you're still here, it doesn't look like he's in here. But Chris is in a buy right now. He asked earlier. So the problem with this is he's still in this trade. It actually just rejected off this resistance up here. So it's going to be stuck in a range right now. So, you know, if anyone's in odd USD, the same analysis I went over earlier today, it's probably going to range, and then if it breaks up, then it'll keep shooting on up, which it looks like it's going to. Here's a CAD CHF that I just went over. Yeah, if you guys want to enter this trade, it's near entry. The only problem is that it's it just rejected off of support, or it almost did. So the problem with that is if it comes down and tests again, that'd be either a double bottom right here. This one would be considered a bottom because it didn't touch the actual zone. But I mean, it's still in the same zoned area. So if I was to draw a zone right here, it obviously tested it twice. So this is actually a bit of a risky trade. So I don't know if I would take that trade right now. It is a valid entry because of this candle, but the thing is, it's a very risky trade, to say the least. Let's keep going through. We have about 7 minutes. We have an invalid signal right here. There's no entry. CHF JPY. There's no entry right there. In order for this to be an entry, there would have to be a break in the zones. So if this red candle came down here and then it closed above with this green candle, then it would be an entry if you're applying the K2 zone strategy. But there's no entry right there. For Euro odd, this is a position that we still have active. Same analysis I discussed earlier. It's stuck in the zone right now, so it's a bit of a risky trade to hold on to. If you're still in this trade, we hit TP1, so I'm already out of this trade. But if you guys want to, if you guys are still in it, I would move your stop loss and profit, because the problem is it's going to come and test this support again. And the problem is it might reject off it and then shoot back up to test this resistance up here before, coming back down. It's a risky trade to hold right now, just due to this, the positioning that it's in right now. It's stuck in between these two zones. CAD, Euro CAD. This is a trade that I marked up earlier this morning. I can't remember why we didn't call it. Aaron, do you remember why we didn't call this trade? I know we talked about this morning.
I think it was too close, like 20 pips away from resistance.
Yeah, stop loss is only, TP1 was about 27 pips. So I didn't call this.
The spread is normally kind of high, so.
Yeah, that's high pips. Euro CHF, no entry inside the zone right now. You have to break outside that zone to provide for an entry. Nothing right there. Euro JPY, nothing right here. I know we discussed this earlier. We hit TP1, so I'm actually out of this trade already. So if you guys are still in this trade, it could be risky because it's at this support zone right here, which is already tested 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's gonna be the 8th time testing. So it could either go either way. Like if it has momentum shooting upwards, it can shoot up pretty high. If it breaks below, it can continue downwards. But I don't like trading where there's uncertainty. I like to trade where I'm positive about a trade. There's no entry here for Euro NZD because it's inside a zone. We did have a buy signal right here. So the thing is, if price closes above, then it would provide for an entry as long as it's not too close to resistance, which it looks like it might be because of this right here.
Oh, yeah, bro.
All right. There's nothing right here. This was an entry right here, but it looks like there was news at that time, which is why we didn't call it. But it would have been a good entry. Would have hit full TP right there for 80 pips. If you guys want to take risks, you guys can take these trades. The only problem is I don't like taking trades when there's news because I like to take high probability trades and I don't like speculating. Because this could have went the opposite direction.
Excuse me.
GA right here. So Neville, you asked about GA earlier, so I'll go over it real quick. Right here we have a buy signal, but it's inside a zone right now. So in order for there to be an entry, we'd have to have price break above this area right here. So once price breaks above this zone right here, then it would provide for a buy entry right there, somewhere around this area, for about 150 pips. Currently, we have a sell right here, so we don't have a sell, but we have a red bearish candle. So there's just no entry right now. If there was a candle that closed below, if this closes with a sell signal like we have right here or right here, then it would provide for a valid sell entry. similar to right here. So this would be a sell entry right here because we have a sell signal, and it's pretty far from the zone down here. So if we were to take this sell signal right here, we could have entered a short, and we could have made a profit for 120 pips right here. Or we probably would move this higher because I like to put the stop loss at the previous swing, which is up here. So if we round that to like 160 pips, you could have made 160 pips off this trade. Yeah, there's no entry available for GA right now. The only way that we'd have an entry right here is if we have a bullish candle close above this zone right here, or if we get a sell signal like we did right here, this candle or anything following it, because then we'd have a sell entry until the next zone. So the next zone's right here for 86 pips. You can roll that down maybe to TP1 or somewhere close to it. GBP CAD right here. There's no entry for GBP CAD. The reason for that is because it's at resistance right now. So if I take the SRs off, you can see right there that it's at a pretty strong resistance point. Strong wick right here, it rejected down, and that's probably what's going to happen again as it comes up right here. It's probably going to reject off this zone and shoot back down. So that's the reason why we're not taking this trade, even though we have it's a valid entry, but it's too close to the resistance, which is why we wouldn't take that trade. Go down this real quick. We have 1 more minute left. No entry for GC. So you can see it's stuck inside the zones. For GJ, if this bullish candle closes above, then we'd have a valid entry. But there's no break in zones right there. So if we do, then that'd be a valid entry. But there's no entry right now. GN right here. So this is what I mentioned this morning. I don't know what happened with US 30, and I don't know what happened with the NZD pairs. You can see here there's manipulation. Well, it looks like manipulation because it's clearly in a downtrend, and for whatever reason, it shot up pretty strong. Like literally within a couple hours, it shot up like 150 pips. So I don't know what's going on with the NZD pairs. I'm probably gonna stay away from them for today, just because I don't know what's gonna happen next. GU, fuck, we missed this trade, Aaron. What do you think about this?
That one looks pretty valid.
Yeah, it'd be a late entry though. Should we do like a sell limit, huh? I mean, not a sell limit, a buy limit.
Yeah, buy limit will be fine.
Yeah, because it looks like it might be coming back down. So I'm just gonna set this in the premium group. So if you guys are in the premium group, you guys will get this trade. This would be a buy limit just because it's above the entry right now. Looks like they should have been entered at about 10 a.m. Looks like it literally just closed above that zone. That's probably why I didn't call it because it was too close. But it looks like a really good trade because resistance is way up here. So we actually have a lot of room to take and complete this trade. So I'm going to call this right now. Let's see. I'm just going to delete these zones because they're kind of relevant. Yeah, generally, I just keep the zones that are nearby a current price. So you can see right there, it looks like a really nice entry actually. Yeah, it looks good actually. So let me call this real quick. You guys can see how I send out K2 signals. So I'll put that there. So I generally just copy this. This is why sometimes you guys will see me, you guys will see that I put the wrong parameter sometimes because I literally just copy what I posted previously, and then I'll put them in for a different pair, and I pretty much just copy paste everything. So I copy paste the entry right there. T2. there. It's going to be for 89 pips. That sucks. Oops. All right, looks like it's good. So if you guys want to copy this trade, you know, there's a freebie for you guys right there. Going to send this to the premium group. It's like a good trade. But yeah, you know, that's pretty much the entry right there. Let me set the alerts real quick. All right, so pretty much when I set the alerts, I set an alert at TP1. That's only because I want to move my stop loss to TP1, like I mentioned earlier, whenever it reaches that area. So for GU, I have TP1 hit. And then pretty much when I get this alert, it's just going to pop up on the screen. It's going to tell me that TP1 was hit. And then once that happens, I just move my stop loss to TP1. And I put stop loss hit because obviously I want to know, you know, if that happens as well. And you know, lastly, I'm going to put full TP. It should be up here. Full TP right there. And there you go, guys. So that's pretty much how it's set up. You know, once price reaches TP1, then I'll notify you guys. If it reaches full TP, I'll notify you guys as well. I think that's about it. Let me see if there's any other entries before we move on. Aaron, what do you think about NZD CAD?
Yeah, I was looking at that one before, but man, it kind of retraced a little bit. So I really don't know about that one. I mean, it did close a little bit, but
Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably just hold off on this because like I mentioned earlier, the NZD pairs are just moving weird. So I'll probably keep away from that. I mean, if you guys are looking at this and you guys are analyzing this, you know, on your own, this is a valid entry right here. The only problem is, you know, with the way that we're looking at the market, it's just not moving right.
exactly. And Razik just said that there's NZD news in 25 minutes.
Let me check real quick.
I didn't even know about that.
Oh yeah, there's heavy news at 7 p.m.
Oh, he said 55 minutes. Dang, 25 or 55.
It's in about an hour, so 55 minutes. So, yeah, this is high impact NZD news. If you guys have any active trades for NZD or AUD, then I would recommend that, you know, everyone move their stop loss and profit.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of spikes.
Yeah, because it normally spikes pretty often. Razik said 25 minutes, 55 minutes. Yeah, pretty much. Whenever there's NZD news or AUD news, you know, for whatever reason, those news it tends to spike price for almost all currencies for whatever reason. So if you guys have any active trades with NZD or AUD, I would for sure move your stop loss and profit. I think that's about it. So yeah, our NU is still active right here. The one from last week. Actually, no, it isn't. It hit TP1, I think. Let me check real quick. Yeah, I don't think this updated, so I'm just gonna delete this. Yeah, so for AE, NZD, USD, I believe we did hit TP1. Oh yeah, so I already have it open right here. So our NZD USD trade hit TP1 on Sunday for 67.5 pips. I think that's about it for that one. So yeah, I don't really see anything else. UCAD. Aaron, what you think about UCAD?
UCAD, are you thinking about a late entry or what?
Yeah, like right here with the buy stop.
Let's see, hold on 1 second. could have sworn mine looked different from that.
Let's see. Yeah, so it would be a buy stop on that one. Trey's asking what time frame do you usually trade on? So trade lately I've been trading on the 4 hour. I used to trade on the 30-minute, but I don't trade on it as much. And that's only because I don't want to be on the screen all day. I used to be on the screen all day, so um, 4 hour just it's a lot more accurate, and I don't have to be on the chart all day. I'm literally just on the chart, I think 4 times a day. Whenever the 4 hour candle closes. Yeah, for the most part, right now, that's pretty much the time frame that I primarily trade on. I do trade the US 30 on the 10-minute. That's how I take my daily US 30 strategy. That's about it. That's the only one that I trade that's not on the 4 hour. Pretty much everything else, all other FX trades are taken on the 4 hour. But the K2 strategies work on all time frames. So depending on how you trade, I'm not sure if you subscribe to the strategy or just the signals. Obviously, if it's just the signals, you're not going to have access to the strategies. But if you do have access to the indicators and the strategies, you have it here on the on the website. Let's go website. Yeah. So if you have access to the strategy, the K2 trading strategy course, we have a couple strategies here. We have the intraday strategy, the momentum pullback strategy. These both work on all time frames. You can use it on for scalping. I also have scalping strategies right here as well. So if you want to scalp, it's here too. But you can also apply these on scalping or swing trading as well. But this is the one that I've been using, the K2 SR zone trading strategy. It's pretty much intraday and swing because it's used on the 4 hour time frame. But for the most part, it's intraday because we try to get in and out of the trade, within the day, within 24 hours. And then I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but my K2 daily strategy. This is pretty much the strategy that I've been using for all the US 30 trades. But yeah, that's about it. I mean, there's not that much to cover. I mean, it's pretty easy. We try to keep it simple and easy to learn. So if you do have access to the indicators and the strategy, you can apply them right here. Let's see. All right, so let me keep going around and see if there's. I think that was it. So, Aaron, what do you think about UCAD? No? Guess not. So let's see. UCCHF. We do have an entry right here as well, but I didn't call it. I don't know why I didn't call it, but it looks like it's just ranging right now. So it doesn't look like a good entry. There's obviously no entry for UJ right there either. Yeah, I mean the only possible entry would be UCAD right here. The only problem with UCAD is that it moves really slow. So, it's a bit of a risky trade to take unless it's actually moving. So I'd probably put this at 65 pips. I mean, it looks like confinement. It looks okay. It doesn't look great, but it doesn't look bad either. So if you guys do want to take this trade, you guys can take it. But personally, I'm probably going to stay away from it until.
And hey, how many pips away from entry?
Probably like 2 pips.
Two. You said how many?
It's like 5 pips.
5 pips. Let's see. This is a tough one.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a little risky. I'm probably gonna hold off.
Yeah, we can pass on this one. Yeah, I'm not feeling this one.
Yeah, so I'll pass on this. That's about it. I mean, the only trade that I was able to call was a GU. Okay, I think that's it for right now. So let's, I'm gonna keep going down the Q&A. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to drop in the Q&A. Looks like I've got about 5 questions left. So after that, I think that's about it for today, unless you guys have any other questions. So feel free to put any questions you have. You know, it doesn't matter whatever question you have, I can answer anything you guys need help with. But okay, let me keep going down. So VD's asking if I can look at USD CHF and GBP NZD. So USD CHF. This is the one I was looking at earlier. We do have a valid entry right here. You know, let me just check out these other zones. I can just leave them there.
Excuse me.
So pretty much for USD CHF, this is a valid entry for a sell right here using the K² SR zone trading strategy. And pretty much if you guys aren't familiar with the K² SR zone trading strategy, it's real simple. So let me just, I'll type up the requirements right here. K² zone trading strategy. So pretty much these are the requirements, real simple. You just want to identify the direction of momentum. From the K² signal. Next, you want to, so there's 2 different entries, but this is going to be the one for this specific trade. There's 2 ways to enter a trade using this strategy, but this is probably the most common one because a lot of people don't catch the other one. But okay, for number 2, you want to identify break in K² SR zone. Let's see what else we got. And then next, you want to enter on the open. One last one, confirm. Price is at least, let's say 20 pips away from next SR zone. And then lastly, you can enter on open of following candle. All right, so the strategy is real simple. You just want to identify the direction of momentum, and the way that you're going to identify that is by looking at the K² signal. So right here, you can see we have a sell signal. You know, the reason why this didn't go up right here is because there's a resistance right here. So that's why we wouldn't have taken those trades, even though it was a buy signal, because that would violate the 3rd requirement. We just want to make sure it's at least 20 pips away. But you can see right here, first you want to identify the direction of momentum. So right here we have a buy signal. You can see price went up. We have a sell signal. It came down to the zone, rejected. Right here we had a buy signal. It came up, tested this resistance right here, rejected. Another sell signal, buy signal, and then a sell signal right here. So since we have a valid sell signal right here, which is a red sell signal with a bearish candle, we would have identified this as a momentum swing downwards. So you can see right here, obviously price swung downwards pretty heavily. You know, it's a strong momentum move downwards right here. So after that, you want to identify a break in the K² SR zone. This is one of the K² SR zones right here. The way that I was able to identify that is with the K² SR indicator. So if I turn this on, you can see right here, price goes and it marks up these zones around the chart. So you can see right here, you can see all these zones where price rejects from. So price came up, rejected, came down, rejected, came up, rejected, rejected, rejected. And you can see it keeps moving along. And the reason why we pay attention to these zones is because, as you can see right here, price generally moves from zone to zone. So it moved from this zone to this zone, to this zone, to this zone. And it just pretty much tests zones back and forth. And that's pretty much how the market moves. So the thing is, once price breaks a zone like it did right here, odds are price is going to continue downwards and then move to the other direction. Sorry guys, lost connection. Let me get back on. All right, guys, I'm back here. So first you want to identify the direction of momentum. So right here, like I mentioned earlier, we have a sell momentum right here because we have a sell signal with a bearish candle. Next, you want to identify a break in the K² SR zone. So right here, price broke this zone. And like I was mentioning earlier right here, generally when price breaks a zone, even like it did right here, you can see that price generally goes to the next zone. So price broke the zone right here, came down, tested this zone right here, came up, we had a buy signal right here, right? As price broke this zone, it tested this zone up here. Then it came down, had a sell signal, tested the zone, buy signal, tested this zone, and pretty much it goes from zone to zone. So right here, second requirement is that price, let me just hide these. You want to identify that price has broken this zone right here. So right here, price broke this zone. First two requirements are met. You want to confirm that price is at least 20 pips away from the next K2SR zone. So we're going to measure this at this point, from this point right here, where our entry would be. And you can see that price is at least 50 pips away from the zone. So 3 of the requirements are met right there. And now you can enter on the open of the following candle. So if you were following this strategy, VD, you could have entered this trade right here. The only problem with entering this trade, although it looks like a good trade, and I think it will continue down, I'm just cautious right now because of the news that's happened, yesterday and today with the China trade deal where allegedly it was canceled, because that causes price to move in a certain direction. Obviously if that's confirmed, the CHF is going to gain strength, and that'd be a good thing because price will shoot downwards. The problem with the opposite, where it shows, or if there's an announcement that a deal was made and the deal was and this is just basic fundamentals, because the Swiss franc is a safe haven currency. So the thing with the Swiss franc is when the US dollar is weak, the Swiss franc will be stronger. So if the China trade deal indicates that there was a deal that was made and the deal benefits the US, then it could shoot upwards because it's going to show that the US dollar is strong and people are going to want to put their money in the US dollar versus the Swiss franc. So, I mean, that's just basic fundamentals, but it's all speculation as well because, you never know what's going to happen. And that's the reason why I didn't call this trade, because it's going sideways right now. So the problem with it going sideways is that it's probably charging up for a breakout. So since it's moving sideways like this, until price breaks this zoned area, either up or either down, it could be charging up for a heavy breakout, either downwards or a breakout upwards. So it could go down or it could go up. So honestly, it's really, although I do have a sell bias, it's still kind of tricky right now. But if you do want to enter this trade, then I would enter a sell for sure. Let's see what else we got here. So VD wants me to look at USD CHF and then GBP NZD. So let me pull up GBP NZD. And I'll show you guys how the K2SR indicator works for those of you who are not familiar with it. So pretty much what the K2SR indicator does is it automatically plots the strongest support and resistance zones on the chart for you. So if I rewind this over here, you can see that the strong zones are plotted on the chart, and you can see how strong they are because price tests the zone. You can see right here, tested it twice. So it tests it, rejection, test it, and it it automatically tells you where price is going to reject from. So right here, we have the zones placed down here. And as price moves forward, it automatically updates and sets the zones for you. So you can see right here, price came up, rejected off this zone right here, came back down, came up, rejected right here, came up, and it pretty much lets you identify exactly where price is going to be rejecting from. And this will go back to Megan's question. So Megan has a question where she's asking, is there a strategy you would recommend using most during these current market conditions? And this is the exact strategy that I do recommend. The reason why I recommend the strategy is because since it's on the 4-hour time frame, it provides for less noise on the chart. If you're trading on the 30-minute, I see here that Stanley says that 30 minutes more accurate. It's more accurate when the market's moving right, but right now the market isn't. So the thing is, you can get caught in a lot of fake outs if you're trading on 30-minute chart right now, and that's pretty much why I recommend using the K2 zone strategy, because the thing is, if you go on the 30-minute, there's going to be a lot of noise. So let me go on the 30-minute. And if you guys are familiar with the K2, the K2 strategy, you can see here that it is accurate. Like Stanley's not wrong with it being accurate. But here it is accurate, but you can see right here, you've gone stopped out. So you can see prices going down and then it shot up because there's noise in the market. There's like stuff going on in the market that you don't know, what's affecting the market or what's really causing these unusual movements. So technically this would be a great entry right here, but you could have gone stopped out right here just because of this random spike. You can see it spiked up, but then, obviously it would come back down and hit profit target unless you move your stop loss super far out, which you can do. But, just from personal experience, the market just isn't moving smoothly. So unless you had a big stop loss right here, you do perfectly fine if you would hit TP at some point. Again, right here, there's an entry right here. And this would have been a perfect, super smooth entry right here. So if you're using the 30-minute, you would have had a straight winner right there, 21 pips. But yeah, if you're applying the this strategy, you have to make sure that you understand where the zones are, because right here, if you took this buy, obviously you would have lost because there's a zone right here. So the thing is, you don't want to trade where prices was within 20 pips, because the problem with that is price does come up, it's going to reject off the zone, which it did right here. So it just really depends on your trading strategy. But you can see right here, the market is just, it's not trending at all. You can see the reason we know that is because the trend meter down here is blue. When the trend meter is blue, this indicates that that there's no direction of trend overall, because we have the overall trend down here. If it's green, if it's red, then it shows that the overall trend is going downwards. If it's blue, this means the overall trend is neutral. And then if it's green, let me see if I can find when it's green. And then when it's green right here, this will indicate that price is trending upwards. So this gives you an easy bird's eye view as to the direction of price. But personally, I just wouldn't trade on the 30-minute myself because of the noise that's going on the chart. So you can see right here, that it works perfectly fine. But when there's manipulation going on, like right here, this is a huge move. Like candles are moving only like 20 pips, and then all of a sudden, for one candle, price wants to go down like 60, 70 pips. It doesn't make sense. And this is why I recommend using the higher time frames just currently. Once price goes back to normal and everything starts moving how it's supposed to be, then I would go back to the 30-minute. But currently, I think it's just a little too dangerous at the time. Let me keep going down. All right, George is asking, can you please explain currency strength and how if we could use it to confirm the trade that we are entering? Yeah, George. So depending on what you're trading, the way that I have my watch list set up, I have it set up where I have all the odd pairs where the Australian dollar is on the left side, all bunched together. So I have all the odd pairs here, all the CAD pairs here, all the CHF pairs right here, Euro pairs, GBP, and so on. And one way to see how strong a pair is moving is to see how all of the other pairs are moving in that same direction. So the thing is, the way that you can determine which currency pair is stronger than the other is looking at things from a seesaw perspective. So you can think of this right here as there being a slash. So when price is going up, this means that the Australian dollar is stronger. However, when price is going down, this will indicate that the Canadian dollar is stronger. So as you can see here, price is going down, that means the Canadian dollar is stronger. However, if price is going up, like it is right here, you see price going up, this means the Australian dollar is stronger. So if the odd CAD is strong, generally at this specific time, let me go to current time if I can show you real time. Put that back. Okay. So if I go here, you can see that price is moving up pretty strong for odd CAD, right? This is indicating that the Australian dollar is strong. So if this is strong, the odd CHF is likely going to be strong too. So you can see it's strong. It's not as strong, but it's still strong. So it's going up. This is showing that the Australian dollar is stronger all around. So you can see odd CAD, odd CHF, odd JPY. Odd NZD is kind of hard because these pairs move in the same direction. So you can see they consolidate a lot. But odd USD, you can see it's moving up as well. So that's a basic way to identify, the strength of a pair. But let me show you another way. So that's one way to identify it. Another way to do it is to click this compare button up here, and then you could type in the index. So the index for the Australian dollar is AXY. The Australian currency index, and generally, if this, let's see. So you'll just look at how this is moving. If it's pointing upwards, that means that the Australian dollar is strong. You can pair it with the CAD if you want to figure that out, or if you want to look at something else. So if you want to look at CAD, it's I think it's CXY. Yeah. So right here, you add this, and you can see that when with the red line, which is the Australian dollar, if it's moving up, this means that the Australian dollar is strong. If the orange line right here is moving down, this means that the Canadian dollar is weaker. So as long as they're going that direction, so you can see right here, this is where they split. This is where the Australian dollar went up, and this is where the CAD went down. So you can see from there, price trended up for a pretty long time right here, and it continued to till today. So this is a little bit of a more complex way to identify it, but this is also another way to identify currency strength and using it to confirm the trade that you're entering. So the thing is right here, if you're entering this trade, so let me go to a recent trade that we just took. So let me just take these off the chart real quick. So we just took GU, right? So let me go to GU real quick. All right, so we took GU right here. We're gonna do the same thing, click compare. I'm gonna open up the British pound index. So I think it's BXY. Yeah, there we go. So pretty much right here, you can see that the index is actually, it's kind of just stale. It's moving sideways. So it's not a very strong, it's not moving strongly right now. But if it's pointing upwards like it did right here, obviously it shows that the pound is strong. And if you want to pair that with the US dollar, this isn't going to always be a deciding factor. But this just goes to answer your question, when you want to compare the currencies to see, their strength. So right here, you can see that the pound is moving towards the upside. You can see here that the dollar is moving downwards. So the thing with this is that if it's moving downwards, this is going to identify that, price is going to be going upwards, because if this line is going up, then the British pound is going to be strong. And if this line is going down, this is indicating that the US dollar is weak. And you can see right here, it's coming down pretty sharply. So if it's coming down that sharp, it's gonna give you more confirmation that price is going to continue upwards. But this would have to point upwards. So right now it's pointing down or to the side. But as price, as price continues to move forward, this will obviously change directions depending on where price would be moving. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much, the two basic ways to do it. Another way you can do it is you can just go to, you can also click right here, and then you can type in like DXY. I don't know if it shows up here, but yeah, so you have the technicals right here. If you just want to check, the US dollar index, you can see here, and it'll show you the technicals, whether it shows as a sell or a buy. So if it's weak or if it's strong. Or if you want to look at it specifically, you can type in, GBP USD, and then it'll pull up the profile right here. And then it'll also give you the technicals as well. So I mean, there's a ton of ways to do it. There's no one specific way to identify, dollar strength or whatever. But yeah, those are a few examples that you can use if you want to go and look for the strength index for each specific pair. Let's see what else we got here. James said, can we explain intraday trading? James, so intraday trading, it just means that you're trading within the day. Intraday just means within a day period. So you're pretty much just going to be trading within 24 hours. The difference between intraday trading and swing trading is that swing trading, you're going to be holding a trade for X amount of days or X amount of weeks, maybe even months, depending on what you're going to be trading and on what time frame. So intraday trading just means you're trading within that day. Since it's intraday, it's within 24 hours. Another different way to trade would be scalping. Scalping is to trade within a few minutes, a few seconds, a few hours. It doesn't go too long out. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much the basic explanation what intraday trading is. And James said he's talking about pairs. You could trade any pair intraday, James. There's no specific pair that you can only trade intraday or trade swing. Anything can be traded on any time frame. There's no specific pairs that are perfect for intraday. So I don't know if you want to go more in detail, with regards to that question. But yeah, pretty much your first question was, can we explain intraday trading? Intraday trading is just trading within 24 hours, meaning you're going to enter that trade and exit it within that time frame. And then to your other question, where you mentioned that you're talking about pairs, there's no specific pairs that are perfect for intraday trading. Pretty much, you could trade any of these pairs here intraday. There's no right or wrong pair to be trading. But if you're going into scalping, then that's a whole different story. Because for scalping, you want to trade something that moves fast. You want to trade something that's highly volatile, like US 30. Pretty much any indice, and then pretty much any pair that's paired with AUD or NZD. So AUD, NZD, it moves a lot faster than a slow moving pair like AUD CAD. AUD CAD looks good. I'm about to hit TP. But yeah, I don't know if there's anything further you want me to discuss, James, about intraday trading or specific pairs. But it's real simple. I mean, intraday just means trades that are held within 24 hours, held and closed. Okay, so we have one more question. I think this is about it for today. So if you guys have any other questions, feel free to put them in the Q&A before I get off. Otherwise, I'm available in the chat if you guys have any questions. I've been getting a lot of DMs lately, so if you guys do send me a DM, I might not get to it right away. Just don't think that I'm ignoring you. I'm not. I just have my DMs are flooded pretty much every single day. So when I do see your DM, I do see it. I'm just not able to respond to it right away because I'm answering all the other ones in chronological order. I mean, yeah, if you guys are familiar with K2, like we've grown a lot since the past couple months. Like if you've seen our chat was like at 300 people, like not even, it was like at zero less than a year ago. Now we're at 1,800. So I'm getting DMs from all these people. Like you can see here, my DMs are full. So I just want to let you guys know that I'm not ignoring you guys. I'm just really busy. So if you guys have any questions, always feel free to direct your questions to Aaron or Zeke. Those are the two other main admins that can answer questions for you. Otherwise, if it's very specific to me, then I can answer it. It's just going to take some time. And yeah, I see your question. I'm going to respond to you right now. I just wanted to go over that real quick. So Dion has one last question. Aaron said not Zeke. All right, Dion. So let me go over your question real quick. Dion wanted me to look at CHF JPY. So CHF JPY, there was a valid buy entry right here. It looks like it would have hit TP already. So let me just map it real quick. So yeah, if you took that trade, or maybe it didn't, or it actually would have if I put it right here. So if you took this entry right here off the 4-hour, this would be a valid entry. It looks like it hit TP already. Right now, there's currently no entries that are available. In order for this to be another valid buy entry, price would have to close below this zone right here. So what I mean by that is price comes down and closes either within this zone or below it. And then it closes back above as a buy. So this is what I meant right here. So this is an example right here. We have a buy momentum signal. So we're only looking for buy entries. So pretty much since we have the buy momentum right here, you can see right here, price came down. And then as it closed above this zone right here, this would be a valid entry right here. So we would have entered a buy right there. The same situation that we'd be looking for over here. We would want price to close within the zone and then close outside of it for a break and retest. So once it breaks and then confirms, then we would enter another buy, somewhere around here, and then let that shoot upwards, and then we'd ride it on up. In other perspective, if price was to close below, then we would enter a sell. So if we have a sell signal like we did right here or right here, and it closed below like it did right here, we can enter a sell. So if we have a sell signal that appears over here and it closes down here, then it would have been a sell entry down there. But currently there's just no entry that's available right now, Dion. I don't know if there's anything that you see right now. But personally, I just don't see anything, because the problem with this is that it's within the zone right here. So the problem with it being inside a zone is that it's going to bounce around and reject within that area. So you can see right here, price rejected off this little support right here. So it's probably going to push up, hit that area, either break above it or reject again and come back down. And it's pretty much going to do the same pattern. It's either going to break below or reject and do exactly what it just did. So that's why I wouldn't enter right now. But there's a big range right here. So if you do want to scalp within, you can. But like I said, me personally, I only like to take trades that are higher probability. I don't like to take risky trades like this where I have no edge in the market. I only like to take trades when I have a strong trend in the market at the time. But yeah, guys, if you guys have any other questions, looks like that's it for the Q&A. I don't really have anything else to answer right now. But yeah, I'm gonna look at the GU trade that we have right now, see how it's doing. It looks like it's still above entry, so I don't know if people enter this by market. Let me go to the premium real quick. So this is Zuby's girl right here. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, I don't know if anyone's in this trade yet. Yeah, if you guys are in premium, I mean, you guys will have a good time in the premium chat. There's always stuff going on here. This is the trade that I shared earlier. Gee, I'm not sure. Looks like, oh, C-Suit might have entered. He said I am. So some people might have entered market. Personally, I probably would have entered market, but for the specific reason of having an entry, I just put a limit just in case anyone wants to enter. I don't think there's anything else. Yeah, I think CC might be the only one that's in the trade right now. I might enter in a little bit. I'm gonna give it some time, just so I can get better entry. Because let's see, I'm pretty sure CC got in at a good entry, because I think when I posted it, it was literally at entry. So it's in profit right now, 12 pips. So that's the reason why I wouldn't enter it. But I might enter it in a little bit, depending on. Yeah, C6 said he entered at 1.25291. Two five two nine. Yeah, it's not too bad. He entered right there, so right at the low of that candle. or out of the pretty much on the open of that specific candle that we're on right now, which is not bad at all. You know, it's a good entry. It's only how many pips away from. Yeah, it's under 10 pips, so that's fine because your spread would have your spread kicked in too. So you'd have gotten in below that, but your spread kicked in and pushed you up a little bit. So I think it should be good. Dion said I had one other question based on the trade today, but a bit lengthy to type. Dion, do you want to speak, or I can make you gonna unmute you if you want. All right, cool. So let me unmute Dion real quick, and I'll get to his question. And if you guys have any other questions, feel free to put them in the in the Q&A. Otherwise, you guys can contact me in the chat. So let me unmute Dion. All right, Dion, you're good to go. Dion, I think you're good. It shows that you're muted right now.
Yeah, I got through there after.
There you go.
Yeah, man. My one question was, and I think I saw it happen. Well, more than once, just your observation. The GBPNs in the trade, where the trade would have broken the last set of support coming down. Based off of the position it was at, and I didn't think a new support position had formed as yet. Was that trade I mean, I don't know how you would have draw your support for taking the entry, but how exactly you would have plotted the support? I was watching it before, I think you sent it out, and I was saying, okay, it looks like a good trade, but I always find it kind of iffy based on it breaking that last bit of support and then retracing back up to resistance.
Yeah, this is how I identified that this support is actually from the daily. So we had no support on the 4 hour, so you can see there's nothing.
Right.
So what I did is I went to the daily chart, and then that's where I grabbed the support from. It was from here because there was no support on the 4 hour or the 8 hour. So I wanted to know where the floor was, and that's why I thought it was gonna be good because it looked good. You know, if you just look at it from bird's eye view, just looking at it from here, it was clearly very strong downtrend. It looked like it was gonna keep going down. I don't know what happened. It seems like all of the NZD pairs during that time just shot up for whatever reason. I don't think there was any news either. I mean, there was news here, but this hasn't even happened yet. This is in 25 minutes.
Yeah, it was clear. It was actually clear because I was watching it and then I saw it sent it out. So I was like, okay, then we basically saying the same thing. But yeah, I was just only worried about the I think the support, as they say, you took it from the daily. I think it was a bit lower than the range you sent out, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so the signal I sent out, we entered right here, and I put the stop loss at the previous swing, which was somewhere around. It was a tight stop loss, but I'm kind of glad it was tight because it didn't play out properly. But let me just look.
Yeah, it did actually.
You know, it was weird. Like I don't. It looked like such a good trade. Everyone thought it was good too, just by looking at it. So let's see.
It happens. It really does happen. Okay, you can really stop that. Say, okay, 122. That should be enough cushion in case it goes back the other way and then comes back down. Because I thought was going to happen.
Exactly. So let me just turn on this off, and then I'll see where it's at now. Yeah, it literally. I don't know what caused it to shoot up like that because there was no news during that time. Let me see if there's any news here. I don't think there was anything here. Yeah, there was. Yeah, nothing really. I mean, they were talking about Brexit, but it's a June 30 deadline. There's nothing happening, right now that could have caused it to move like that. There wasn't even that's the last news. So there's a news, like no big news, and then the news before that was on June 11th. So there's literally nothing that could have caused this to go up. But it seemed like I know some other people were in NZD USD too. So if you look at same with right here, this shot up too for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Right.
But yeah, so right here, it shot up because the NZD was actually no, it shot down. So this was from today. So NZD USD came down from today because the NZD was weak against the US dollar, and then for GN, it shot up because it was weak against the pound. So I don't know what happened, but the NZD was just weak today for whatever reason, in the morning. But there wasn't any news that caused it to move up. I don't know if it's manipulation or
I wonder if it's because of the news that was going to release tonight, because I know it moves a bit slower, but that was more than enough time based on how the time we took the trade. It was way early.
Oh yeah, exactly. Because we entered this trade at 6 a.m. So the news didn't come for 12 hours. It's not even here yet, but
exactly.
Yeah, 12 hours from there, you wouldn't expect it to move like that, because this was a big move. Like, so many pips. Yeah, like 130 pips within like 4 hours or less, maybe.
Yeah. I remember when I shot, because watching it, I watched it, I think a while after I sent it out. It was actually staying within that close to the entry for a while, and then it just spiked and kind of stayed up here afterwards.
Yeah, and then it just got stuck up here. You would think it, because right now it's NZD market, so you'd expect it to keep moving, but
yeah,
like, because it's paired with the GBP, so you'd expect it to move slow not move slow, but not as fast during the US session, because both of the markets will close at this time at 6 o'clock. The European market closed already, so you would have expected it to move a little slower, but for whatever reason it shot up.
Interesting. It was kind of interesting to see how it just happened to went back the other direction. And I wasn't really in the chat today. I was quite busy, so it's just like I saw it one place and then I came back and I saw it way off. I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, so because when we first entered, it wasn't profit. So let me see, it wasn't.
Yeah, exactly.
As soon as we entered right here, it was in profit. It was nice and probably like maybe 20, 25 pips. So it was good, but I don't know. I took my eye off the chart for 1 second, and it went from in profit 25 pips to negative 50 pips, like up here.
Yeah, and then I think everything had reversed at that point in time, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, at this point too, this is when US 30 started to move weird too. So if you look at US 30,
yes, I remember when I saw you send that out.
Yeah, I have no idea like what caused it to move like that. It literally dropped. So 6 o'clock right here. Actually, we entered right here. So we entered right here, it came up, and then it just shot down. So it shot down. Let's see how many pips. 2,600 pips. A lot of pips for you. For whatever. I don't know what caused this to come down. Because if you look at the news, like I was looking at let's see, I look at NBC. Look at CNBC. They were indicating that the stock market was up because that somewhere in their news, like all this morning, they were indicating that stocks were going up, but I was confused because while they were saying that it was going up, price wasn't. It was definitely not going up. It was going down. So that's why I was confused, because the market opened right here at 6:30, and then the entire day they said the Dow Jones is going upwards, which it wasn't. It was going down. So I don't know. The market was just this morning was just unusual the way it was moving.
It was, yeah. I mean, this last 2 days it kind of been weird because we had a weird reversal. Well, after the trade war announcement last night, everything just reversed and then it went back to normal in like a couple minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, so last night, it was this right here. It's crazy. This is what happened. Yeah. This is when the trade deal. They announced the trade deal was off, so the trade deal with China was announced off, and then it dropped. Should drop 6,000 pips.
Oh.
And in 10 minutes, it corrected back to normal.
Yeah, exactly. Which is weird.
It's very weird. They said, okay, trade deal is gone, shot down for this much, and then trade deal is good. Okay, we're back to normal. And then it went sideways, and then just went. I don't know. The market, like last week, it was weird because the Fed was speaking, but today it was just. I don't know if it was correction from what happened last night,
Mm-hmm.
If we look at this here, I mean, I don't know. It's hard to tell, you know, what really affected the market or what was being manipulated.
Yeah.
I mean, you know how it is. That's just how the market is. You can't avoid manipulation.
Yeah, and I know how it will be sometimes. It's just a matter of management and knowing when to be in and out of the market.
Yeah, exactly. That's why today, you know, I'm glad that I only called one trade because, you know, if we took more, it'd be very risky. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine. I think tomorrow we'll bounce back. I'm not worried because, you know, this is just one time. Yesterday we made a lot, 2,600 pips on US 30, and then today 1,500 was the loss. So I'm still in profit overall. So I'm not too worried about it.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, the rest of the week not looking too bad. I don't know why it's here news for the rest of the week, but that's in the rest of the week looking too bad.
Well, was it Dion for the news?
I don't think the rest of the week looking too bad. Everything else is more or less has gone in terms of big news, as far as I'm seeing here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any other news.
Tomorrow clear. Tomorrow completely clear.
Yeah, tomorrow there's no news at all. So Wednesday should be good. I'm gonna make all my money back from US 30 tomorrow. I think that should be good. Even on Thursday, there's US news, but it's medium news. It's not enough to really affect it. And it's at 5:30 a.m. So by the time the stock market opens at 6:30, we'll be in the clear at that point.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah, that should be good. Let me see how it goes. Thanks much, man.
Yeah, no problem, Dion.
All right, man.
All right, let's see. All right, guys. So I think that's about it for our Q&A. We don't have any other questions. We've been on this webinar for about 2 hours now, so I'm gonna get off for a little bit. But I'll be available in the chat. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. If I don't respond, like I said earlier, I have a ton of DMs to get through right now. So if it doesn't require an answer specifically from me, feel free to reach out to Aaron. Aaron's the other admin here. I don't know if you guys remember that, but Aaron's still around. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to Aaron.
I'll be there.
Yeah, see, there goes Aaron right there. But yeah, guys, that was a good live trading room and trading webinar that we have every week. If you guys are new here, just remember that I have this every Tuesday and Thursday at 5 p.m. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to come on and drop your questions, and I can help you out with whatever you guys need help with. But yeah, guys, I'll catch you guys back in the chat, and let's see if we get some more trades tonight. All right, guys, talk to you guys later.